Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Kraken Packs video. I am your host, MrBevers. That's right, we're back again with another Throne of Eldraine pre-release kit. Are you getting tired of these? Too bad, I'm really enjoying them. I enjoy going through this and like building my limited decks, so I'm gonna keep doing it because I actually quite enjoy walking through the packs and talking about what I would build and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of like seeing what people would do and maybe what I would do differently. Who wants a code? Congratulations, there's your code. Rip, 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 rapidity. There's a code, gone. It's gone. No. Oh. Still no white die. Look at that. Definitely doesn't exist, I swear. I know it exists. I know it exists, okay? Just stop. Stop. I know it exists. Listen, I've opened up like a case and a half of pre-release kits now, and I haven't hit a white die. This is turning into there's no Aether Revolt masterpieces all over again. Only this time it's no white dice from Throne of Eldraine pre-release kits. We got a Fortifying Provisions, Tome Raider, Crystal Slipper, Lash of Thorns, Insatiable Appetite. I always leave the promo to last as well, just so that everyone's aware. Anyway, we'll go through this quicker. We're just going to kind of separate things here. We got a nice Lucky Clover. That's always good. Adventuring is fun. Whoo! A Troll King. That's a bomb in Limited. If you can get the right deck built around that, that is a bomb in Limited, let me tell you. Toss. Toss the garbage away. Toss it. Just toss it. Alright. Our green is looking pretty lackluster, other than the bomb. 2 Insatiable Appetites, and then a Troll King. It's not looking great. Giant Opportunity. I mean, Giant Opportunity is good for Troll King, I guess. We've got our first multicolor card. We're going to put our multicolors here. We're going to put our rares here across the bottom. We can put it right over to the side, right? Can you see that still? Good, it's still in frame. Sweet. We've got an Archon of Absolution, and then we've got a Cauldron of Eternity. Well, we have the start of a very decent green-black food sacrifice shell with our rares. That being said, the rest of our green cards are not doing so hot. Black is looking okay. Green's not looking great. We got a land. Okay. Okay. And we got an Oathsworn Knight. Another good, solid black card for Limited. Ooh! A foil Storyboarder Lovestruck Beast. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. I'll take it. That looks awesome. And yet another green rare. So, I mean, even though our green's not really looking... I mean, I don't know if I can force green with a Troll King and a Lovestruck Beast, and that's it. But, I mean, like, we have the Garenbrig Paladin, but then that's it. We have 3 creatures in green, and that's all we have. Like, it's not great. It's not great. Trapped in a Tower is a really good removal spell. We have some really good black going on. And we got a Clackbridge Troll. My goodness. And a Foil Island. Woo, fancy. I'm so fancy. You already know. I'm sorry. Don't demonetize me. Okay, still our green is like pretty lackluster. Covetous Urge, Archon of Absolution, and Dance of the Manse, and another foil. A foil Oakham Ranger. Alright. Our first off-color rare for green and black. I think our black is strong enough that we're going to be playing it regardless of how good the green looks. We might just be playing black something else. Like, black-white is looking pretty decent as well right now. Green's not looking super hot. It's looking okay, but it's not looking super hot. And a giant killer storyboarder art. Okay. Well, I think green is out. What do people think? I think green is out. I mean, we do have these two Okame Rangers, which are decent, but if we're playing green-black, that means we have to have 4 green on the table to play them, and that's not ideal. And, like, our green creatures are literally a Rosethorn Acolyte, a Wildwood Tracker, a Garen Break Paladin, and then a Lovestruck Beast and a Feasting Troll. And that's it. Like, just, it doesn't seem great to me. It doesn't seem great to me. Feasting Troll is an absolute, like, it just dumpsters people. This card dumpsters people because it's Vigilance and Trample, and it's a 7/6, that if they don't exile it, it just comes back. Because when it comes into play, you make 3 food, and then you just sack those 3 food to bring it back from the graveyard. And then the Lovestruck Beast is just an awesome 5/5 body for 3, and if you have to get the 1/1, you just pay the 1 mana, which is pretty nice. That being said, though, Dance of the Manse is like an interesting card, but I don't think we're looking at blue-white at all. Black-blue, maybe? It's going to be tough. Knight of the Keep, I think, is just a filler card. Prize a Griffin, I would play, but I don't know if I would play it over, like, Archon of Absolution, because... So this is a 3/4 flyer for 5, which is 1 more mana than the Archon, and yes, it has 2 more health, but also the Archon has more text on it, which is that it's protection from white, and not just that, but it's also creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controllers pay 1 for each of those creatures. Well, we have 2 Archons, which is pretty good. So, I mean, okay, playable. True Love's Kiss, definitely main deckable. There's enough stuff that you could definitely be playing it. Trapped in a Tower, I don't like Shining Armor. Archon, yes. Flutterfox, I probably wouldn't play a second True Love's First Kiss. And then, like, the Fortifying Provisions is, like, not necessarily a bad card. If we were playing, like, a blue-white Flyers and we had some of, like, the 1/1 Flyer that is blue and white that requires you to have artifacts and enchantments, Fortifying Provisions is a great card for that because it gives you the enchantment and the artifact for 3 mana. So it makes that creature into a 3/3 Vigilance for 3 mana, which is pretty nice. In our blue, Unexplained Visions is like, this card is fine. I don't know if it's necessarily great in this deck because it's sorcery speed. Wishful Merfolk is no. Witching Well, yes. Steelgray's Griffin, yes. Tome Raider, yes. Mystical Dispute, yes. Charm Sleep, yes. Didn't Say Please, yes. Sir Eleonora, yes. Mystical Dispute, yes. Run Away Together, yes. Corridor Monitor, not so much. Didn't Say Please, yes. Vantress Paladin, yes. Tome Raider, yes. So, I mean, like, the Corridor Monitor could be okay in this deck, just as, like, something to get in the way early on, in case we need some, like, things to block. Let's check out our black. Memory Theft is good. Festive Funeral is fine in the right deck. Foulmire Knight is very good. Eye Collector is kind of mediocre. Smitten Swordmaster is good. A second Foulmire Knight, yes. Foreboding Fruit. Reeve Soul. Malevolent Noble. Bell of the Brawl. Witches is okay, but we don't have a lot of Knights. Lash of Thorns and Festive Funeral, yeah. So, I mean, like, we have a couple black cards that we wouldn't really want to be playing, but we do also have these sweet ones. I don't think our red looked super exciting either. Like, Redcap Raiders is, like, kind of meh. Embereth Paladin is okay. If we're playing, like, mono red or, like, heavy red, very good because it's a 5/2 with haste for 4 mana. Ogre Errant, this is in. This card is just really good by itself. It's a 3/4 for 4, which gives another Knight Menace when it attacks, which is just very good. Redcap Melee is okay. It's a decent removal if you don't have anything else. Fling is fine. Rimrock Knight is good. Trebuchet is fine. Merchant of the Veil is good. Rimrock Knight number 2 is good. Joust is fine. Crystal Slipper not so much. And then maybe you would play the Embereth Paladin just because you have like a pretty knight heavy build in red here. So you might play it. And then I think you would just cut these. So like I think it's a tough toss up between like black blue and black red. I don't think the green is strong enough for us to go that route. If we go black blue, we do get the Covetous Urge, which is nice. In black, we only had one adventure card, right? Which was the... Oh no, we have 3. We have a Smitten Swordmaster and 2 Foulmire Knights. So, like, we do have, like, this, the Lucky Clover here. Right? Which is good. What do we end up with here? We got a lot of duplicates, didn't we? Yeah, we got 2 Weapon Racks, 2 Hengewalkers, 1 Roving Keep, 1 Lockwing Gargoyle, 1 Jousting Dummy, 2 Shambling Suits, 1 Signpost, and 1 Lucky Clover. It's interesting. Oh, right, we have a promo card. Let's not forget that. Oh, our promo card is an Iron Crag Pyromancer. This card is good. This card is good in the right deck. And the deck that it would need to be in is like a blue-red draw deck, in my opinion. So like the Locked Dragon is very good for that. But we have no other payoffs, really, for drawing additional cards. Like our red, none of our red really has any sort of payoff for drawing additional cards. Our blue does. We have the 1 Griffin, right? The Steel Gray's Griffin, which gives you the +2 when you draw your second card each turn or whatever. And we have the Eleonora, which is like equal to the number of cards in your hand, so you obviously want to draw cards. So I mean, like, we could go like a blue-red with that, but then I think we miss out on like some sweet rares. Like the Cauldron is just pretty bonkers. That card can just like steal games without any problem, mainly because you can just cycle all your creatures from your graveyard back into play, which is pretty bonkers. And yeah, it costs you 2 life to return them, but like, you know, I mean, if you're returning a Clackbridge Troll that got removed, all of a sudden you now have an 8/8 that's going to gain you probably 6 life, maybe. And at least it's going to gain you 3 life at some point, most likely, unless they just have another spot removal for it. But then if they remove it, it just goes back on the bottom of your library, so it's going to come back. And the Oathsworn Knight is really good as well. It's just a 4/4 that can't really die unless it's specifically to removal. It can't die to damage, basically, until 4 turns. Right? Like, it basically has to take 4 points of damage on separate occasions. 4 instances of damage. Let's call it that. 4 instances of damages. 4 instances of damages for it to die. Right? And then at that point, if you have the Cauldron, it can just come back. Right? The Eye Collector works well with the Cauldron because it does mill you and your opponent, and the Cauldron cares about how many things are in your graveyard. In black, we had a number of creatures, right? Like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 5. That's actually not that many. And in blue, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it only puts us to 10, 13, 10, 11, 12. It only puts us to 12 creatures. So like we kind of need more than that for the Cauldron to work. White didn't really have a lot either. Did it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I only have 5 as well. So like 6 creatures because we have the Giant Killer. So I mean, we could go that route. The green definitely, like, even though the green looked sweet, there was definitely not enough. I'm so hesitant, right? Because like the green could be very good if it just had like another creature instead of one of these Insatiable Hungers or like this Halberd. Right, like, because I mean, like, this is definitely playable. This is definitely playable. This is definitely playable. This is like okay. It's not amazing. This does let us attack with Lovestruck Beast because it's a 1/1, and it's only when it attacks or blocks, and if you control another non-human. So as long as you leave it back, the Lovestruck Beast can attack, which is kind of cool. The Rosethorn Acolyte is playable. Kendrick's Transformation is really good. In this instance of this deck, the Wolf's Quarry is very good because it adds 3 1/1s that then make food. The food is important for the Feasting Troll, but not only that, the 1/1s are important for the Lovestruck Beast. Giant Opportunity is good, and then the Insatiable Appetites are decent tricks, especially if you have a food base. We don't have enough ways, in my opinion, to make a lot of other food. That's really the main thing. And like the Lucky Clover works well with the Lovestruck Beast as well as the Rosethorn Acolyte. But again, like even in like if we look at like our other colors, like in blue, we didn't have any adventure cards in blue. No adventure cards in blue. One adventure card in white. All right, only the one. Oh no, two. We had the Ardenvale Tactician and then the Giant Killer. All right, so like the Lucky Clover is like not even really that great in this deck because we don't really have a lot of adventure cards. Right? We have 2 Rimrock Knights and a Merchant of the Veil. Those are the only adventure cards. So like we basically have 3 adventure cards in each color, right? So we could have a total of 6 depending on what colors we go to. That's tough. I mean, I guess we could have so if we went black and white, we'd have 5 adventure cards. If we went black and red, we'd have 6. If we went black and green, we'd have 5. Right? So, like, the Lucky Clover is kind of like a mediocre card at best. I don't think you can skip out on the Clackbridge Troll. It's just too good. Clackbridge Troll is better than Feasting Troll, in my opinion. Mainly because Feasting Troll costs 6 and it costs quadruple green. Whereas the Clackbridge Troll only costs 5 and it costs only double black. Also, the Clackbridge Troll, even if they tap it down so that they don't take damage, you're gaining life and drawing cards off of it. So like that's just bonkers. In addition, it's like extra value, right? Whereas the Feasting Troll is just a 7/6 trample vigilance, doesn't have haste. It can be removed. It does make 3 food, which is nice, but the food isn't being used for anything else really. Yeah, I think the Feasting Troll is also just way too hard to cast. Unless you're in like a heavy green, and we're not in a heavy green because our green is not heavy enough to support it. That being said, we could go like black, blue, splash green to get like the Lovestruck Beast and maybe the Kenrith transformation. Though the Kenrith transformation is not like super interesting. But I mean, like we could definitely splash green just for the Lovestruck Beast with like a black white. Hey, we could go Abzan, right? We could go Abzan, or we could go Sultai, right? I think I like the blue. Like this, the blue seems pretty strong. It's a lot of flyers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the 5 creatures in blue are flyers, and the other one is just a giant butt with a huge power on it, depending on how many you've drawn. And not only that, we have 4 counterspells. We have 4 counterspells in blue, and a Charmed Sleep, and a Runaway Together. So, like, we have lots of control in blue, which is nice, which will help us with our Clackbridge Troll getting through and things like that. So that's definitely things to consider. I think I would probably end up going black-blue with this pool. That's probably where I'd end up. The white is, the white is decent as well, but it doesn't have nearly as much control. And it is a little bit light on playables. And I mean, the black for sure, right? Like, we definitely had a few removal spells, right? Like, we had Funeral, Lash of Thorns, Reeve Soul, right? Yeah. And Memory Theft, yeah. So we do have some control in black. So, like, I think black-blue is where I would end up. And then that lets you play, of course, the Covetous Urge as well, which is nice. This card is just bonkers. You get to take, like, whatever their biggest threat is out of their graveyard or out of their hand. And then you get to cast it, which is pretty nice. So, anyway, there you go. A nice little interesting build. I think that's where I would end up. In black, blue, with maybe a splash of green or a splash of like white. I'm not sure. It'd be in that range. I don't think we're playing red. I don't think we're playing white as a main color. And I don't think we're definitely not playing green. Even though we have that Feasting Troll King, it's very tempting, but I don't think we can do it. I don't think with the pool that's in green, I don't think the Feasting Troll King is useful to us. Anyway, thank you so much everyone for watching. I've been your host, MrBevers. Don't forget, if you want to help support the channel, you can do so over on my Patreon at patreon.com/MrBevers, where you can get things like grab bags, booster boxes, and bundles. And if you can't support with a monetary value, thanks for just watching. Don't forget you can also like, share, and subscribe. That helps the channel immensely. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you can't even do that, thanks for just watching. I really appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, may your pulls ever be better.